We need to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh man, so FTX's director of engineering, Nishad Singh, has just pled guilty to 6 fraud and conspiracy charges, and now the net tightens in on Sam Bankman-Fried. We're going to break down exactly what's going on here, guys. Literally, breaking news. FTX engineer Nishad Singh pleads guilty to 6 fraud and conspiracy charges after flipping on former boss Sam Bankman-Fried. This is a major development, as you guys know. Sam Bankman-Fried has been sat there on bail, sitting there on his VPN, doing what he likes, watching the Super Bowl, chilling as if nothing has ever happened, when he's caused billions worth of damages, destroyed people's livelihoods. When will justice prevail? As you can see here, another person now turning on Sam Bankman-Fried and focused on helping the case. This is the director of engineering, guys. What you're going to find here is completely shocking, okay? So we need to take a look here at exactly what happened. I'm unbelievably sorry for my role in all this, Singh said, admitting he knew by mid-2022, guys, mid-2022, that Bankman-Fried's hedge fund, Alameda Research, was siphoning FTX client funds without their knowledge. Singh agreed to forfeit any proceeds. Well, obviously. Let's keep going here. The plea agreement was another sign that prosecutors are leaning on members of Bankman-Fried. This is a very clever tactic, guys. When you've got the big fish at the top, Sam Bankman-Fried, and they need to make an example of him, otherwise everybody's going to lose any trust in the system. You've got to go after his teammates. You've got to go after the people that were helping him and give them lesser sentences for showing the evidence that Sam Bankman-Fried was orchestrating all of this. This is a typical tactic, and this is what they're playing out. And we know Sam Bankman-Fried has been emailing people. We've seen him texting some of his friends saying, guys, don't ditch me in on this, right? You know, stick to this story. We've seen all that happening while Sam Bankman-Fried is on bail. But Nishad Singh is now the 3rd person to come out and plead guilty. Remember, previously we had Caroline Ellison plead guilty, who was the CEO over at Alameda, to 7 counts. We had Gary Wang plead guilty, who's the CTO at FTX, on 4 counts. And now you've got the director of engineering. So this is really closing in on Sam Bankman-Fried. How is he going to keep up with his ridiculous story that he meant good? It was just some shoddy accountancy. We made some bad risk management. No, this, if ever there was a clean case of fraud, this is it right in front of you. Let's keep reading because it gets really interesting here, guys. Let's go through this. Hold up. Are you tired of worrying about the security of your cryptocurrency transactions? In this crazy world that is crypto, protecting and preserving our digital assets is everything. And for that reason, I partner with NordVPN, the best VPN service for crypto traders. With NordVPN, you can be sure that your online transactions are completely secure and your identity is hidden from prying eyes. The military-grade encryption technology makes sure that no one can access your data, even on public Wi-Fi networks, so you can trade with complete peace of mind anywhere, anytime. Guys, seriously, don't risk your hard-earned crypto and NFTs for the price of a coffee each month. They've also offered a free month and up to 60% off their plans. Oh, and they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Guys, seriously, it's a small price to play for a rapid, safe VPN. Definitely check it out. Link is in the description. Ijaz.uk/NordVPN. And let's get back into this video. According to a civil complaint filed separately on Tuesday by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, Singh used his computer skills to backdate fraudulent fund transfers and set up, this is the important bit, an unlimited line of credit for Alameda using client funds. In other words, they could not run out of money despite how little collateral they would have posted. Singh, 27 years old, pleaded guilty to 1 count of wire fraud, 3 counts of conspiracy to commit fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. US District Judge, who is also set to oversee Bankman-Fried's trial scheduled October, accepted the plea. Okay, look at this, guys. They rocked our financial markets with a multi-billion-dollar fraud, and they corrupted our politics with tens of millions of dollars in illegal straw contributions. Remember, guys, this is what's horrible about what's going on. We're going to come back onto this. This is the Sam Bankman-Fried parents' house. This is the parents' house, guys. It's worth about $4 million. They paid $700K for it. And this is what they're posting as collateral for the $250 million bail? Ludicrous. Ludicrous. This is all they had to post? Like, I bet if I did something, I'd have to post more collateral than this to go on bail. $4 million house? Like, come on. Ludicrous. Let's now take a look here because there's more that we also find out from this. Draw donors. Bankman-Fried rode a boom in the values of Bitcoin and other digital assets. Singh also became a major, so watch this, he became a major donor to Democratic politicians, contributing $8 million in campaigns in the 2022 election cycle. In the new charges filed last week, prosecutors said Bankman-Fried conspired with 2 other FTX executives to donate tens of millions of dollars to influence lawmakers to pass legislation favorable to the company. So we already know Bankman-Fried was playing both sides of the aisle, right? On the one side, he was giving one side of the aisle, he was giving them clear donations, and on the other side, he was using straw donations, which is where he was doing it in a dark manner, so it wasn't traceable through other people, through other shell companies and other entities. But either way, he was playing both sides of the aisle to make sure that he was seen in a favorable light and nobody would find out about his fraud. Or if they did, they'd stay quiet, right? Because there's an incentive. We're going to come on to incentives shortly, because I'm about to reveal who owns that house that they posted for that $4 million collateral, because it gets even more interesting when you look at what's going on. Watch this. The donations were legal because they were made with straw donors or corporate funds. They said Bankman-Fried directed another FTX executive, identified as CC1, what the hell does that mean, to donate more than $21 million to a pro-LGBT group. Yes, Federal Election Commission records show that Singh contributed $1.1 million on July 22, just shortly before, to the LGBTQ Victory Fund. So you can see here exactly how they're trying to focus on electing certain people that matches their narrative, okay? This is huge fraud, huge outright fraud. Today's guilty plea underscores once again that crimes at FTX were vast in scope and consequences. Huge. This is huge, but it gets better. Let's take a look at this post here. Revealed Sam Bankman-Fried's mystery bail backers. Guys, to give you some context, when you read this article and you speak to a lot of the people involved in US law, it's not normal to redact the names of the people who boasted bail. Why was it in this case? For so long it was hidden. And then we found out on the 15th of February, a couple of weeks ago, who posted the bond, right? And guess who you find out it was, guys? Yep, these 2 chaps here. On the left-hand side, he was a former Stanford Law School Dean, Larry Kramer. He posted $500K. On the right-hand side, you have another Stanford person, right? For a computer science researcher, Andreas Papke, I believe his name is. He posted another $200K. So $700K from some of his wealthy friends to help get him out on bail. Stanford, Stanford, Stanford. But the Stanford link doesn't stop there. We know Sam Bankman-Fried's parents are both Stanford law professors, but guess what? We also find out that the house that they posted as bail sits on land his parents leased from Stanford. Yes, this is all interconnected, guys. The house is not even owned fully by Sam Bankman-Fried's parents. It's owned at least from Stanford University itself. Hugely complicated. I'm sure there's a lot more which we do not know about, but one thing is for sure. We need to make sure we get justice in this. We need to make sure that things like what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried is not left to be swept under the carpet. And this is one of the things that particularly happens here in the West, is you see situations where they kind of just play it out. They let it play out, it dissipates out, and then everybody forgets about it, right? They kind of, over a couple of years, everybody is not as upset anymore. They kind of forget about it, and they give them a little bit of a sentence, and they'll brush it under the carpet. This is a huge crime. This is a huge crime that's affected a lot of people's life, and it's damaged the image of the crypto space. This needs to be taken seriously. The action needs to be taken swiftly, and the fact that you've now got Carrie Ellison, Gary Wang, and now Nishad Singh all pleading guilty to many counts, Sam Bankman-Fried has to be brought to justice quickly. They expect him to return to court in October. Why do you need so long? Maybe somebody in the law field can fill me in on why they need that long when there's so much evidence against him. He's now been increased to 12 counts from 8 counts in December of fraud and conspiracy. And obviously those 12 counts also include, trying to lure lawmakers using political donations as well. So there you have it, guys. That's the latest here on the Sam Bankman-Fried saga. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to go watch this video here to find out what's going on in the market and with our investments. And I'll see you in the next one.